Slamdown is sponsored by Body Slam and Jam and WWE Smack Talk. Welcome to another episode of Slamdown Livestream. I will let people know I've got a bit of a headache today, so I'm not feeling 100% either. But I'm going to soldier through. You know, I do this for the fans to give my review on Raw, and God damn it, I'm still going to do it. Don't matter how well I am. So as we know, Raw was in Chicago, and every time Raw is in Chicago, you always get that hyped up crowd, and you know that CM Punk chant will begin. You know, it happens every time. So we saw Kevin Owens confront Chris Jericho. For people that doesn't know, at Fastlane, Kevin Owens was distracted by Chris Jericho, who came down onto the ramp, turned around, got speared by Goldberg, jackhammered, and Goldberg became the new champion. So they started confronting each other. Samoa Joe came out and attacked Chris Jericho after Jericho challenges KO at WrestleMania. And Kevin Owens basically states he wants it for the US title. So obviously we know it's been going around that Chris Jericho is leaving after WrestleMania. So obviously they're going to drop that title to Kevin Owens, which to me I would have rather seen Kevin Owens retain and take the top spot. But, you know, a part-timer wins. I'm a big fan of Goldberg. You know, I've watched him in WCW and his return to WWE. But this time it feels different. It feels that Goldberg's there just to have quick matches and that's it. You know, I want to see a proper full match by Goldberg, not a quick match. But also led to matches later in tonight where we was going to see Sami Zayn taking on Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho against Samoa Joe. But it hit straight away with Kevin Owens taking on Sami Zayn. It's a good match. I've seen these battles so many times now, but I'll give it 3 out of 5. I can't be too harsh on it. We did see Kevin Owens manage to get the victory in that. After that, we saw Neville taking on Rich Swann for the Cruiserweight title. It was okay. I'm not going to say it was bad, because it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. It was about average. It's about 2.5-star match. But me, for the interesting part, is when Neville was being interviewed by Kevin Owens, and there was a bit of a verbal conflict, and it looks like Austin Aries is preparing to get in the ring and take on Neville, which is something the Cruiserweights need. You know, they've beefed up with Neville, which is good. He's got the charisma, and also now with Austin Aries being able to be in the cruiserweights, amazing. We saw Brock Lesnar confront Goldberg. The crowd was booing heavily on Goldberg, which was quite weird to see. And then the CM Punk's chanted started up, and as soon as the CM Punk chant started, Paul Heyman comes out and says his client's here. Brock Lesnar gets into the ring, hits an F5 on Goldberg. Goldberg's down. So obviously they're going to do WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar win, and I think they carry Brock Lesnar holding the title. I do believe this Goldberg stint is a short stint. I think after WrestleMania, I think that's it. Goldberg's gone. After that, we had Raw Tag Team Champions Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson taking on Enzo Amore. We did see Cesaro and Sheamus come down to watch the match after there was an altercation backstage, a bit of mouth of words between Enzo Amore, Big Cass, and Cesaro and Sheamus. It ended up being disqualified by Cesaro getting in the ring after his coffee was spilt over him by Enzo Amore. But it looked like Enzo Amore did it by accident, so, you know. But we will see next week Cesaro and Sheamus taking on Enzo and Cass next week, and the winners get to take Gallows and Anderson at WrestleMania. We did see that Japanese lad, I'm not even going to bother pronounce his name because I can never pronounce his name, take on Daivari. 3 out of 5 star match. Byron Kendrick came down. That's about it, really. We saw the New Day taking on the Shining Stars. The Shining Stars, the Jobbers. You know the New Day was going to win this. It was 2 stars. I'm getting bored of New Day now. We saw Sasha Banks taking on Bayley. If Sasha Banks won this match at WrestleMania, it'd be a 3-way match for the title. But we saw Charlotte trying to interfere, but Sasha Banks still got the victory. Triple H addresses Seth Rollins. Oh, sorry, I didn't write that stars. See, I'm still not with it. 3 out of 5 stars. Most of the show is 3 out of 5 stars, if I'm honest. Triple H addresses Seth Rollins' injury, talks about the great doctors. You know, you could tell that was aimed at sort of CM Punk when he said about how good the doctors are. We saw Samoa Joe taking on Chris Jericho, but he choked Chris Jericho outside the ring. As soon as he got to about 8, Joe released the hold, got into the ring. Chris Jericho was counted out. Simple. Roman Reigns was... Braun Strowman was in the ring, waiting for Roman Reigns. Undertaker music hits. Undertaker comes down. Undertaker comes down. Braun Strowman leaves. After Braun Strowman leaves, Roman Reigns comes down and tells the Undertaker this is my yard, which led to Undertaker chokeslamming Roman Reigns, which is obviously building to Roman Reigns versus Undertaker WrestleMania. Predictable. And that was it for Raw. Average. From coming off from Fastlane, there's not really much I can say at that. I'm sorry I'm not quite with it to give you that full depth review I normally give you. 3 out of 5 stars. Looking forward to SmackDown because I think SmackDown will be better. But yeah, I think that's about it, to be honest. So we'll be back on tomorrow. It's a bit of alteration on the time zone because I've got something else coming up in the evening, so it will be some time through the day. We'll be on air. I'll announce everything through Twitter. If you haven't got us on Twitter, it's at SlamDownLive. And I will see you again at some point tomorrow. This has been your host, Ashley Friend.